Joining me is our regular Tuesday commentator, Matt Canavan, the Nationals MP and former Resources Minister. Matt, great to see you. Look, you know this scandal is scarring and scaring the government because Wells, as Communications Minister, has gone into hiding just one day before her new ban on children using social media starts. Her biggest move as minister, and she's too scared to go out and talk about it. If she says useless, sack her, right?
Look, Andrew, if she can't do a job, she shouldn't be in it. It's as simple as that. And as you say, this is probably the most important week as a communications minister in this term of government. It's a world-leading change to social media. I'm concerned it'll have a lot of issues with it, and we need a minister on the job here, able to explain things to Australian parents, deal with any gremlins that are in the system, and clearly Anika Wells can't do that. So at the very least, the Prime Minister here should suspend Anika Wells. She's racked up way too many demerit points in front of the judiciary here. Too many of these trips have got too much question marks on them, and I fear, though, this is just a bald-faced attempt to get the official rulemaker here to say that, well, each individual one is not a problem, but clearly added up here, this minister is taking the Australian people for a ride, a big ride, a very costly ride. There's no way that the amount of spending we've seen here, the pattern of it, the repeated nature of it, is in any way connected to the need for a Minister of the Crown to spend your money in accordance with a value for money test. Because yes, there are literal rules, but you also must abide by the principle that you're getting value for the spending of other people's money. And the key principle here is that I don't think Anika Wells seems to be all that concerned about the fact that it's other people's money she is spending, given the drinks, the night out you mentioned earlier, the Comcar waiting for 7 hours. It's a pattern of behaviour that needs to be stopped, and a message should be sent by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister here needs to apply standards, just like the former Liberal National Party set standards. Bronwyn Bishop didn't breach any rules. Susan Lee, our current leader, didn't breach rules, but they paid a price here. Paid a price then for making a mistake. Anika Wells has made a mistake here. She should pay a price. Not saying she should be sacked from Parliament. Needs to spend a bit of time in Coventry, and as I say, there needs to be an example set that you shouldn't spend taxpayers' money with gay abandon like Anika Wells has.
The Prime Minister then was left with the job of trying to sell this ban tomorrow, and he did it by saying, you know, who cares about social media? Here's this message to the kids.
Make the most of the school holidays coming up rather than spending it scrolling on your phone. Start a new sport, learn a new instrument, or read that book that has been sitting there on your shelf for some time. And importantly, spend quality time with your friends and your family, face to face.
Matt Canavan, you're a father of 5. Do you endorse that message? And did we really need a ban on social media to send it?
Oh, look, there's nothing wrong with the message. It'd be great. I'm in a constant battle with my children to get outside and play more, etc. But look, I don't think the Prime Minister saying it is going to make all that much difference. The Prime Minister, the government can't substitute for a parent, and it's up to each individual parent to do these things. Look, I mean, I think let's be serious here. While we all want our children to be outside and do these things, in the real world, it's pretty hard to keep kids off this type of technology. And at least in my household, or what I try and do with my wife, is just find a balance. There are some positive things about social media too. There's lots of good content on YouTube, and I'll keep Sky News out of this with present company accepted. But honestly, a lot of the crap that's on free-to-air TV is much worse than what I see my kids watch on YouTube. They watch history, they watch stuff about religion, about politics. It's very, very interesting, but it is just about monitoring that and finding that balance. And this particular change from the Australian government is a sledgehammer to crack a nut. I don't think it's going to keep too many kids off social media. It may make it very hard for grandma to keep up with their grandkids on social media, because they could be locked out if they can't get around the hoops of verifying their age.
And just quickly, I'm out of time, but I've just got to ask you, Barnaby Joyce now has formally joined One Nation. You're obviously astonished and surprised at this news. But what threat is this for the Nationals?
Look, I think the threat was there before Barnaby. The threat is there because people don't think they're getting a fair deal in modern Australia. The borders are open, the small businesses are closing, Industries are closing. Our factories are going offshore. People can't afford a home. And that frustration is clearly leading to people thinking that maybe the major parties don't have the solution. So the challenge for us is not whether Barnaby or not. The challenge for us is to get back to focusing on what we should be, which is advocating for, fighting for, delivering for the Australian people. And this government we've got right now is focused on spending $100,000 to go to the United Nations to get applause, not on protecting our industries, protecting our jobs, and actually closing our borders, keeping some control of our borders, so that the Australian people get a fair deal first.
Well, I'll be speaking about that issue later in the show. Matt Canavan, thank you very much for your time.